Okay, so let me go ahead and continue with the story about the quality of the vehicles here and the quality of the mechanics here in this country. Basically, I just want to give y'all like the last installment. Long story short, the vehicle is still out of there. Um, Still sounds like a baby tractor. Still has no working sensor because I was never able to buy or replace or whatever. So basically, I just wasted the last of my money on the last sensor because the mechanic that wanted to fix it wanted to pretty much sell me a new motor or buy a new motor to replace the one that now has apparently stopped working like it should. Basically, he's after I got kind of like pissed off at my last mechanic for what I feel is a scam because when I took it to him, it didn't sound like that. And after he replaced like a minor part on it, sounds like crap. So I went to like the fourth or fifth mechanic. I lost track of how many people have worked on that car due to the fact that it was one of those situations where you're like, hey, do you know somebody that's reliable and trustworthy? And they're like, yeah, I know a guy. Well, that guy turned out to want to, first and foremost, not want to, but actually charge me $350 to diagnose the problem. In other words, like that's what we charge to check to see if it needs fixing. So give me $350 and I'll tell you if or if not I can fix the vehicle. I took it to him. I mean, it's right there on his sign on his door, like 350 to diagnose your car. So I took it to him. He diagnosed it. I went and got it back the next day. He's like, you need a motor básico. That's what he called it. He's like, you need a basic engine, whatever, right? So I'm like, so it can't be fixed. He's like, nah, man, I think you need. First, he was like, yeah, I think you need to change, might need to buy a new oil pump. And if that doesn't work, then we can check something else. And I'm like, here we go, right? First and foremost, I don't have the money for that motor básico. But I asked him anyways. I'm like, how much do you think one of those costs? He's like, ah, yeah, they're like about 5, 6 thousand, which I know to not be true. As a matter of fact, one of the previous mechanics had suggested something like that, so we looked into it. Um, those motors that he's talking about, they're like 15, between 15 and 18,000, which I do not have at the moment. So I'm like, nah, bro, I'm not gonna be able to do that. So I tell him, I said, I'm gonna have to just end up selling it. So what I'm gonna do is, since you already diagnosed it, the last mechanic told me change the sensor, the one that keeps that they unplugged so it will work, right? Um, and That way you can sell it, right? It won't be 100%, but it'll, the mechanic that checks the car will, they won't see a sensor that's just hanging, right? Anyway, so I tell him, I said, man, I'm gonna go ahead and just buy that sensor and just sell it. So he's like, cool, I'm gonna call a guy from this shady ass place. They've got these like a scrapyard area, right? Like this community, literally like blocks of shops where you can go buy these parts because he doesn't want me to buy it from an actual store like a new one. He's like, nah, don't buy the new ones because the new ones that they sell you here, they're not they're not any good. They're generic, so you want to buy an original one. So what you have to do, you have we have to get them from these guys. These guys that he's referring to, that area is pretty much well known to be more than likely stolen vehicle or stolen vehicle parts, right? As a matter of fact, like if you ask somebody, hey man, do you know where I can go get a part? They'll tell you, yeah man, go over here to this zone 8 or something. And he's like, don't worry, if they don't have it, they'll steal it and they'll get you one. I'm like, okay, but that's how they roll here, right? So I plus they come with the warranty that, like, let's say that they sell you a part and it doesn't work, you can take it back. Like you put it in your car right away so that you can check it, and if it doesn't work, then they'll change it for you. So I'm like, cool, I'll bring it back tomorrow. Call you guy. We'll do it. I take off with the car after the diagnosis. I get down the street, man, and this car now sounds worse. One, two, it shakes. The motor, like you can feel it shaking more than it was before. And three, it stalls on me again with the sensor unplugged. And I'm like, what happened? Like you were just supposed. So I called him right. I'm like, hey, look, bro, hey, this car started stalling on me. Now it sounds worse and it shakes. So he's like, oh yeah, man, bring it back to me tomorrow, man. I'll check it for you. So I take it back to him the next day. All he had to do was tighten the screws that he unscrewed when he took the lid off to do the diagnosis to check to see if he could or couldn't fix it. And all he did was tighten them a little bit. In other words, he left it in a state where it did not work as it should, but he just gave it to me anyways. Like, yeah, man, go ahead, take it, right? But I was like, nah, bro, like this one doesn't work. So I took it back. He tightened it. He's like, all right, cool, take it for a test drive. Problem fixed. That quick. Boom. Problem fixed. Now I'm thinking to myself, so you kind of already knew this. You kind of already probably knew that this was going to happen, but yet you gave it to me like this anyways, right? For me to find out. So I take it back. They buy the sensor. He fixed the stall thing. It doesn't stall anymore. Still sounds crazy, believe me. And when I take it back for the sensor itself, so that I can move on to the next step, he changes it. I take it around for a spin. Works great. I'm like, okay, the car works. That somebody finally fixed it. I'm so relieved. I'm like, wow, I can't believe it, right? So I take it back to him because remember I paid for that sensor, which was like 450 on top of the 350 for the diagnosis, and I still owe him like $100 for the exchange, the workmanship. And then I take it back, and he's like, "Did it work?" I'm like, "Yeah, cool, man, it worked. Um, Let me go ahead and pay you the $100. Do you accept plastic, right? Or a money transfer?" He's like, "Nah, bro, I don't. We don't take debit or credit cards. But there's a ATM down the road." I'm like, "Cool, yeah, I know where it's at. I've been here before, so I'll go get the money." I try to pull out to go get the money to pay him for the work that he did. I got like 1.5 feet. The car like pulls out and stalls. So I just put it in neutral and let it reverse back by itself. So I go back in there. I'm like, "Nope, didn't work." So he's like, "Damn." So I tell him, I said, "Look, the way that we found out which sensor was not working last time was by actually driving around with it with the scanner plugged into it, and when it stalls, it gives you the error, right? Because if you just put the scanner on it, turn it on or whatever, while it's just sitting there, it's not gonna give you the errors. It only gives it to you when you're actually driving and it stalls." So we did that, and now he tells me that his scanner is not telling him that it's that sensor, but it's telling him that it's two different ones. The one that I want changed is at the bottom. The ones that he's telling me that they're not working are at the top of the engine. So he's like, "I'm gonna call this guy. I'm gonna tell him that the sensor that we all have to change is actually a different one. He'll exchange it for me, right? I just don't know if it's the one that goes in the front or the one that goes like a little more farther back, because there's two identical sensors." So he calls him, gets the sensor. I go back the next day. We go through the process. He's like, "Look, I'm gonna change one because I don't know which one the B is. It's telling me the sensor B. So take it for a spin, and we'll see what's up." I take it for a spin, take it for another spin. Boom, same thing. So I come back. No, it wasn't that one. Maybe it's the other one. So he exchanges them. Take it for another spin. This time it's worse. It shakes like not just the motor shaking, but like it's. You think I'm exaggerating? You feel it like. So I take it back. I'm like, that one is definitely not it, bro, because that one was worse. So then he's like, "Let me call him again. I'm gonna tell him to send me both of them, right? So that we can change both of them, and that's that way the car will be fixed." That's about the point where I gave up, man. I don't know if I still owe him. I'm like, he's like, "Bring it back tomorrow again." I mean, I never got to pay him the $100. He never did the job. Like, all he did was switch pieces. But remember, he gets his money back. The 450 that I paid for that sensor, he can get that money back. So he gets like 4 times as much that he would have got for just doing the work. So I just gave up on it, man. I just left it. So yeah, that would be the latest installment. Thanks for watching. Right? Subscribe. That's what majority of people say. So I hope you find this at least a little bit entertaining, or just maybe some kind of educational, basically to kind of like always remember, anytime you buy a used vehicle here in this country, mandatory take a mechanic, because they're going to sell you a piece of crap. Two, be careful who you trust to fix your car, because there's a lot of shady individuals out there if you don't.